Today we're going to create a paper cutout graphic in Adobe Illustrator. First, before we get started, we need to go ahead and create a folder on our desktop for this project. I'm going to call mine Paper Cutout. And then we can open up Illustrator. Go to File, New, or click the New File button on the home screen. We're going to go to the Art and Illustration presets and find the letter preset. Change the units to inches and the orientation to landscape. Make sure that the color mode is set to CMYK and the raster effects are set to 300. Click Create. Next, we're going to set up our workspace and reset it so that your workspace looks just like mine. Go up to the top menu, Window, Workspace, Essentials, and then Window, Workspace, Reset Essentials. Now we're going to set up some guides. First, we need to open up our rulers so that we can see them on the top and left side. To do that, I can do Command R or Control R if you are on a PC. And now you can see your rulers appear at the top of your screen and the left side of your screen. We also want to make sure that we have guides turned on so that we can see them. So you can go to the top menu under View and go to Guides and make sure that if it says Hide Guides, that means that they are already showing. So that's what we want to be. If it says Show Guides, then go ahead and click on that so that we are showing our guides. Right now we don't have any guides, so let's go ahead and create some. We're going to drag 2 horizontal guides from the top ruler here. So I'm going to click in the top ruler and drag down to create my first horizontal guide. My guide, you can see, is yellow. If yours is a different color, that's okay. It just means that you have your settings a little bit different than mine. If I move around on the screen during the project and it's a different color, don't worry, it's still a guideline. Just notice it's the one that's going off of the artboard. So that's my first horizontal guide. I'm going to click and drag in the ruler and drag down another one to make 2 horizontal guides. And then I'm going to do the same thing from the left side ruler. Drag 1 and 2. Go ahead and click on the first horizontal guide that we created. So I just drag a box around it to select it. If it's not selecting, you might have your guides locked. So like right now when I click on it, it's not selecting. And the way that I know it's not selected is because over here in my properties panel, it says no selection. So what I need to do is go up to View and then go to Guides and unlock Guides. Now when I click on it, you'll see over here it says Path, and that's how we know that this is now selected. Alright, now that I have that guide selected, I'm going to change where it's located. So the first horizontal guide is going to be at the Y value of 0.5 inches. So I'm going to type in 0.5 and press Enter. I'm going to select this second guide, the horizontal guide, and we're going to change the Y value to 8 inches and press Enter. Now I can change the ones for the vertical guides. So I'm going to highlight that first one, and that's going to be an X value of 0.5, and the second one, after I select it, I'm going to change the X value to 10.5 inches. Now if we go over to our layers panel and expand out this layer 1, we can see all 4 of our guides are inside of here. I'm going to go ahead and double click on layer 1 to rename this guides. Press Enter, and I'm going to go to lock it. So now those are locked in place and I'm not going to accidentally move them. I do want to make sure that I have my Smart Guides also turned on. So in the View menu, you should have a checkbox beside Smart Guides. If you don't, go ahead and click on that so the check mark does appear. Next, we're going to go ahead and save this with the right file naming convention. So we're going to go to File, Save As, and save it on your computer where we put the Paper Cutout project folder. And we're going to name it your last name, first initial, underscore, Paper Cutout. That's an AI file, Adobe Illustrator file. That should be the default format. Go ahead and click Save, and then OK. Now we're going to create our bottle shape for our paper cutout. First, we need to make a new layer. So in our Layers panel, we're going to go down to the bottom here and click the plus sign where it says Create New Layer. and you'll see layer 2 appears above our guides layer. I'm going to go ahead and minimize that so we don't see all those sublayers inside of the guides layer, and we just see layer 2. Next, we go over to properties, and we're going to click M on our keyboard to select the rectangle tool. You could also click on the rectangle tool over here in the toolbar. We're going to change our fill color using the hexadecimal code. So I'm going to double click over here and type in 4E5C89 and then click OK. Our stroke is set to none and we want to keep it that way. And now we're just going to click anywhere inside of our artboard here, and it's going to open up our rectangle dialog box that lets us enter in the width and the height. We want our width of this rectangle to be 7.5 inches and the height to be 4 inches. Now you'll notice if I go back and forth between these two, they stay the same number. If I had this linked, it would automatically change the one with the other to keep the proportions the same. So we don't want that turned on, so that we can individually make sure that the width is 7.5 and the height is 4 inches. Then click OK. And there's our rectangle that is 7.5 inches wide and 4 inches high. Go ahead and change the opacity in the appearance panel to 25%. We're not going to keep it that way permanently. It's just so that it'll be really easy for us to see what shapes we have on top of each other while we're building the bottle. Using the selection tool, which is the keyboard shortcut of V, we're going to click and drag to move our rectangle. I want it to snap to this right guideline, the right margin. Then I'm going to use the vertical align center button in our align panel in properties to make sure that it is perfectly centered up and down on our canvas. Next, we're going to grab the direct selection tool. Then we're going to click on the bottom left corner widget so that it turns to a different color. And then you're going to drag the corner up and to the right until you see a number for the radius, 2.4 inches. Now with our object still selected, we're going to go to Object, Transform, Reflect, Horizontal Axis, and we're going to click the word Copy. And what that's done is it's made, and you can see this in your layers panel, it's made a copy of the rectangle we just made on top of each other. And that's where that opacity kind of comes in handy, so we can see that these two shapes are overlapping. Next, we're going to press L for our ellipse tool. Click anywhere on the artboard, and we want this to be 1.25 inches in width and 4 inches in height. Again, make sure that that constrained width and height proportions was turned off before you start typing in those numbers, and then click OK. Get our selection tool and move this so that it is lined up with our rectangle, and we're going to use those smart guides to let it snap so that it is touching the intersection of the center of these two rectangles and also touching that right margin. Again, we're going to turn the opacity down to 25%. And then I'm going to copy this ellipse by holding down the Option key or the Alt key if you're on a Windows computer and clicking and dragging it out over here to the side. We're going to leave it right there for just a minute. Next, we're going to get our rectangle tool. Click anywhere on the artboard again, and this one's going to be 3.45 inches by 1.25 inches. Using our selection tool, we're going to align this one so that it is also in the center up and down and center of the rectangle over here, and then it's touching the left margin. Now we can go back and grab this ellipse and drag it all the way over so that it also is touching the left margin and it is centered vertically. With the ellipse still selected in the properties panel, we're going to change the reference point to be this middle left reference point. So the white dot should be over here in the middle left section. Make sure that our proportions is locked, so we do want the chain to be on. And we're going to change the height to 1.25 inches and press enter. And now it puts our ellipse at the top of this bottle. Next, we're going to select all the shapes that we created. So I'm just going to drag a box around all of them with that selection tool. Once again, I want to make sure that they're all aligned in the center up and down on the artboard. So I'm going to click one more time on the vertical align centers. Doesn't look like they moved, which means that they were all in the right place, which is good. And now I'm going to use the shape builder tool to combine some parts of the shape and then get rid of some parts to make our bottle. First thing I'm going to do is get rid of this area and this area above the top of the bottle. So I'm going to hold down the Option key or the Alt key if you're on a Windows computer and just draw a line through those two pieces. I'm going to do the same thing down here with that corner and that corner, and at the very bottom with that corner and that corner. Then I'm going to let go of the Option key, and with no keys pressed down, I'm just going to draw a line through all of the rest of my shapes to make our bottle shape. Then we're going to use the direct selection tool, and we're going to select this corner widget and this corner widget, and we're going to click and drag to move the radius to 0.5 inches to make that curve for the bottleneck. Then I'm going to go back over to my selection tool, and I'm going to change the opacity of this overall bottle to 25%. I'm going to go back over to our layers panel. We're going to name this the bottle layer, so just bottle. We're going to go ahead and lock it and save our work. Thanks for watching. This completes video 1. Click here to move on to video 2, and we'll see you in the next video.